enough to have like real memories. Swapped to the ND8 filter just in time before those meth heads got our bike. So thank God for that. It is a 2-on-1. I would couple of knuckleheads. Whenever we say knuckleheads, it's a nice word for meth head. A couple of knuckleheads, you. I'm pretty far away. I should probably GPS back now. It's just I know right over here is like such a sick scenic road. We go, all right. Here's where bright. Sick, bro. Pointing the camera up a little because I want everyone to see the surrounding mountains. El montón. Woo. Just got way cooler over here.
Back online. You're on the fastest route.
Let's just do this shit.
By 8:28 p.m.
Oh, I bet we could beat that. So, fun backstory here. This train station, it's an old train station. I think it's still technically a real train station. Let's see, train ride tickets. When I was, I don't know, 5 or 6, I have pictures. I always had pictures in the house growing up of me on this like train. And I had this memory, this like core memory of when I was a kid of being on this train. It's one of those things where like I didn't know if it was an actual memory or what, but I remember that. And this is like in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, and I grew up in Jersey. And then I came back out here for work. I remember driving through this town for the first time on a job and just looking around like that's funny. That reminds me of when I was a kid. That's cool. And then I drive by. Why does that look so familiar? I'm like, this actual train itself that was parked here, I'm like, well, that really reminds me of when I was a kid. And then next thing you know, I'm on the phone like, yo, Mom, it's the weirdest thing. I'm driving through this town in Pennsylvania in the middle of nowhere. And all I could think is, this place reminds me of something familiar, and I don't know what, but it's, and she's like, well, where are you? And I was like, well, Jim Thorpe, I think it's called. And she's like, well, dummy, that's where your grandparents lived. We used to go there all the time. And I was like, what? I was like, get out of town. It's just a totally random, funny thing that like, I didn't know that's where my parents or my grandparents lived when they lived over here. I didn't know any of that. All I knew is I had this picture of me on a train when I was a kid. And everything in this town looks familiar. Now, I was like 4 or 5 at the time, I think, when I came up here. or when we used to come up here. So it wasn't like I was old enough to have like real memories other than just like these images and flashes. And this all looked so familiar. So when she's like, yeah, that's where your grandparents lived, I was like, get the hell out. Like, what are the odds of that? Like, I went back to New Jersey, grew up there, had a whole life, and then by some random circumstances, I ended up starting to work for a company that was out here. So I started driving out here every day, and eventually moved out here. And I ended up on a job one day, and it was like, it was like 20 years later, you know? It just like, this image was like burned in my brain. So when I saw that train station, I was like, that looks so much like that train station. We have that picture of me on a train, and just this like image I remember in my head, like these flashes of memory. I'm sure that makes sense to somebody who's listening. And yeah, I just thought it was really funny. Like, what are the odds, you know? What a pothole, my goodness. And that changed like a lot. That was like, I never knew that's where they lived. All I remember is coming to this train station, and I have vague memories of being terrified of their basement as a kid. I just remember this house that had this like ominous basement door within the house, like very much Home Alone. Home Alone struck a chord with me as a kid because it so deeply reminded me, it so accurately reminded me of my exact experience as a kid in my grandparents' house. They had the same setup. It was a basement door, this creepy wooden staircase. I went down to the basement. I'm convinced kids do feel and sense paranormal more. And I think as a kid, I sensed, and later in life I found out from talking to my aunts who were older at the time, obviously, that house was 100% haunted. Like, there was some sort of paranormal activity going on there. And I could sense it as a kid, man. I'd be so terrified to go into that basement, man. Like, I remember the one time they asked me to like go get paper towels or something. They wanted me to grab something that they stored downstairs, and I couldn't do it. I walked to the steps, I walked to the top step, I think I walked down a step, and I just started crying. And I was like, I can't do it. And they were like, what are you so scared of? Just go in the basement. And you know, my family is a very toughen the F up. What are you, scared? But that aside, I was still absolutely terrified to go into that basement, and there was absolutely zero chance that I was going down there alone. And I think my mom or somebody, cousin, aunt, somebody, I remember ended up like doing that. I'll come down with you, geez. And even then, I was fucking petrified, man. Too scared, absolutely terrified that I couldn't even go down with somebody. All right, I need to swap batteries, I believe. This is not like a good kickstand spot at all. All right, here's what we're gonna do. Keep the brake on. I'm gonna swap it here quick. I just pulled over to change my battery, but I hear another 400 with a pipe. It's funny, as soon as you hear a friend, you're like, let's go. Nice bike.
What is that?
400.
300.
Sounds good.
Thanks, man.
Is it straight piped?
Yep.
Sounds good, man.
What you got?
It's just a Leo Vince slip-on. It's loud enough. Ride safe. Oh, it smells like absolute dog doo-doo, and I think it's your fault, mister. You stinky ass clown. Holy shit, that smells. That is some rancid trash if I ever smelt it. That boy had a straight pipe 300. That thing was obnoxiously loud. Missed my window of opportunity. Yeah, 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 yeah. Look at that beautiful sunset behind me. See if we can't get a thumbnail out of that. I'm trying to catch it, but I don't think I can see it in the mirror. Expecting my ND filter to just fly the F off. amount of bugs on my windscreen right now is outlandish. Absolutely outlandish.